Welcome to the podcast from Stress to Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Lolita Guarin, and today is episode 165th. 165. I don't know, I just never know how to pronounce them right. Okay, so we continue the conversation about the change, how to change your life, how to be happier and more vibrant and more energetic and more inspired and passionate. But the change definitely can be very, very stressful. So today, specifically, I want to talk about going back to school or learning something new. The change can happen when we're doing something different, right? Um, but sometimes to do that something different, let's say to change what you're doing in your career or doing your life path or whatever it is, maybe you need some more schooling. Also, you might be going back to school because it's just fun. Maybe this is a time in your life right now where you think to yourself, you know what? I really wanted to be a hairdresser. Why this could be a little bit stressful? It's a change. Naturally, we may be kind of pushing back towards anything that is like this, a little bit different, especially if you're already adult. So it could be a pushback of thinking, well, I'm not going to go back to school, but also you not necessarily need to go to school. You can also do online classes. You also can learn something that is online course without graduation, without getting certificates, anything like that. But really getting into this place where you want to learn more about something that you are interested in. And why is this good? Although it's very scary. Because when you will learn something new, obviously it's great for your brain, for your mental state, because you will be occupying yourself with something and you're like, oh, listen, I already have way too much to be preoccupied. That's okay. If maybe going to school or learning something new is not your jam, that's fine. Then you can do all any other things that has to do how to change your life and be happier. But specifically today, I'm talking about going to school and learning something new. So when you go somewhere and it has, people involved, why is it good for you? It's also you learning about other people. You are exposing yourself to meeting other people. We have a tendency of sticking with the same friends over years. And, do you have a friend that that you grew up with that you're still strong? It's great. But also, did you notice how many people are coming into your life and leaving as well? Because, well, you change or they change. So if you are interested in something, and like, for example, being a hairdresser, like I mentioned before, now when you will go and learn something like that, you will find other people that could be your new friends that have, well, the same things interested like you are. So that immediately opens up more possibilities for you to be social, try something new, learn something about other people. And I recommend especially those who are thinking like, well, I would like to go out more. I would like to be more social, but I don't know where to find people. This is kind of weird place these days. Like, looks like a lot of people just live online, and it's like, well, it's not like you're just gonna go sit at the bar and just start talking to random people. It's like, what do you do? What about? It's like, well, you go to church. Well, go. What if I don't go to church? What do you want me to do then? Then find some groups that you can learn something, and going to school is one of those things that people are there on purpose and they're interested in something that you interested. So immediately you have a bond, something to talk about. And I have so many friends that I still have from my college times. And even when I am, learning something online, and I could be in one country and another person could be in another country. And if you're participating in common projects and you're working and you're talking, you build new relationships. It's really good for your mental health, for sure. So why is this could be stressful apart from a regular things because well change is kind of new and you don't want to leave that controlled environment. It also has to do with the self-image. You ask yourself, is like, well, do I want to learn something? And if you're like, well, I really want to, but I don't know, there's something that's just very stressing me out about it. I'm feeling anxious. You really ask yourself, what is that there's a limiting belief, behind it? There's somehow it's serving you why you don't want to go to school. Let's just say going to school, um, going back to school. And it could be that has to do with the judgment. Maybe you don't want to be judged. Maybe you're being judged. Maybe you don't want to look like a weak person, or like, why are you going to school when you're 65? Oh my God, you're so old. Or you don't want to show to other people that you're interested in things that, well, maybe they were not even expecting you to be interested in. So, which is actually even more important that you will go, because then you will meet new people that are interested in things that you are. Um, and going back to school also could be a little stressful, especially if you grew up in the environment where going to school is not really being celebrated. Um, I have few clients that they told me that they didn't want to go to college, even if that wasn't, they could have, but they didn't want to feel their family behind. They felt like they're being disloyal to their parents because nobody in the family went to college. So they kept themselves behind in order to not abandon and dishonor their own family. Of course, from a side, it sounds like that's funny. Like, what are you talking about? I mean, it's college. Plenty of people go to college. What is this all about? But especially if you are really bonded with traumas, with your family, you don't want to do anything that is outside what normal is because you don't want to be judged. And especially if you be judged when you were a child for being different, thinking different things, doing different things, or just showing your true self, you being, shut down and being told, shut up and sit down and don't you dare doing this, um, you would be afraid, really afraid to actually do anything outside of that normal because you will be afraid of being abandoned. And when you're a child, this is really big deal because we believe that our caregivers are gods. But now you're an adult. So ask yourself a question. Is there something that you would like to learn and what is holding you back? And if you find that there's something that you really want to learn, but well, you don't have time, you don't have money, maybe you can help yourself of doing less or in small steps, but still come up with some sort of plan how to do that. Because of course that is something stressful, but if you really have a drive for that, you can achieve it. Everything is possible if you really want to. And there are organizations that can support you, and then there are plenty of schools online. If you feel like, well, I don't really want to go and, see other people. So tell me, did you learn anything? Did you go to any school? Did you go back to school? Did you have any certifications and line programs? And what was your experience with learning with other people? And if you have a tip for someone who is a little bit stressing out about going back to school, what would that be? I would love to hear your opinion and your tips. Leave me a comment below. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And yes, well, we'll continue talking about how stressful can be little changes in our lives, even if those changes will be good for us and leading us to a healthier and more passionate life.